Frances, we're glad to have you here. Frankie, this year's Farm Aid comes in the middle of one of the worst financial meltdowns in American history. I think a lot of people are of the opinion that the incredibly obscene concentration of power in the hands of an unaccountable few helped cause this mess. So I guess the question is, are there lessons which are transferable from this financial system mess to the situation we found ourselves in with the farm system?
Yes. Yes, yes, yes. In fact, this week is full of two huge lessons. What a week for Farm Aid. This is the week that, of course, we see a financial meltdown. The morning's news is that now Bush is going to ask for $700 billion to deal with this meltdown. And that's been all over the news. But what you haven't seen is that the information is now in that as the beginning of this year, 75 million more people were pushed into hunger by higher food prices by the beginning of this year. And by the end of the year, the UN told us this week that we could expect maybe another 75 million more. That's 150 million hungry people in a world with enough food to make us all plump. So there are huge lessons here, huge lessons. And this is the wake-up call that I think that Farm Aid is all about. There is no scarcity of food, but there is a huge scarcity. And that scarcity is of real democracy. And these two crises, increasing concentrated control of our economy and the world economy and our food, is the opposite of democracy, and it puts us all at risk. The biggest danger right now I call privately held government. What a concept, privately held government, that is the inevitable result of concentrated economic and political power that kills our common sense, common decision making. I mean, when you think about it, what is democracy? It's everybody having a voice. And do you know anybody who would have said yes to these fatal disasters that we're now facing as a planet? So Farm Aid is celebrating the good news, that we know what works. Just think how much more we know now than we did 23 years ago when Farm Aid began. We have incredible, dramatic proof that even though the playing field is tilted or 70% of the subsidies are going to the biggest agribusiness, still family farmers are the most productive, the most ecologically, as Carolyn was saying, the most ecologically responsible, and in fact are the way out of the climate crisis, because overall our food system contributes about 30% of all of the carbon emissions that are heating our planet. And of course, family farms have been most productive. And organic, a study now, academic, rigorous study says that the whole world went organic, available food would increase by about 50%. But where do you hear that in the news? Never. But here we can celebrate. So Farm Aid is all about democracy. It's all about supporting family farmers and reminding us that dispersed democratic power is the only future. And the biggest mistake that we can possibly make is to buy the myth that family farmers are somehow quaint and passé. No, no, no. Without them, there is no future. Family farmers are the future. Thank you so much.